What's up, guys? How we doing today? Hope y'all are doing fantastic. Today we're going to be doing another video. It's National Preparedness Month, September 2025, day number 16. And today is probably one of the days you've been waiting for, and this is one of the fun ones, one of the popular fun, but we're going to be talking about weapons, and particularly guns, but weapons in general. And yeah, so it's going to be fun. Stay tuned. Okay, so weapons in SHTF, or even just as a prepper. Well, let's talk about as a prepper first. As a prepper, and this kind of goes for everything, but as a prepper, there's really 5 guns that you really need, and but there's other guns. I mean, some of you might be like, gun for everything. You need 100 guns for, you need this for that, you need this for that, and the list could go on. But really, if you boil it down to the bare minimum that you need, the minimum that you need is 5 guns for basically for as a prepper, 5 guns. And I'm not going to give you any kind of like, I'll give you some calibers, but I'll give you mostly just generalized because everybody has an argument about which one's better. But a 22, it's good for small game. It's good for training. It's quiet. It doesn't have a lot of kick, so the kids can shoot it. It's not going to wake up the neighborhood if you're out. If you have to use it, you're not going to wake everybody up. So it's a good round for that, and it can kill small game. It's good for that, and maybe to a medium small size game. And but training's one of the biggest ones. Is for one, they're fun to shoot, and ammo's cheap, but it's good for training the kids, teaching the kids how to shoot. You can do a rifle and a pistol 22 just for so they can get the feel for a pistol and all that whatnot. But anyway, a pistol, or I mean a 22, and then a 12 gauge, big game. Close up. They're buckshot, home defense. That's a excellent home defense gun. Buckshot. You got your slugs that can take down a whatever. Slugs will take down a dinosaur. Okay, maybe not quite, but slugs. Shotgun, 12 gauge, preferably 12 gauge. If you're a smaller and a 20 gauge, I wouldn't go lower than a 20 gauge for this purposes. I mean, there's 410s, there's 10, there's other gauges, but most popular 12. If that's a little bit too much for you, if you're a woman or a smaller stature and that kick, or you just don't have the strength you used to have, a 20 gauge. But one of those two, 12 or 20. The next would be a carbine. Carbines, and that's totally your choice. This is where I'm not going to get, into any kind of particular, because there's so many out there, and whatever I say, I could be, oh, you're an idiot for saying that, but your preference. I technically prefer the AR-15 5.56. I think it's a good all around round. It's not overly powerful. It doesn't give a lot of kick. It's loud, but it doesn't kick a lot, and it's good. It'll go out there the distance that, or more than most of us are going to be shooting in an SHTF situation. I mean, we're not going to be shooting 1,000 yards down. I mean, why would we need to do that? But there's possibilities. I'm not counting that out, and we'll get to that in long gun. But right now we're on carbine, which some of you may hate ARs and you may like AKs. Cool, get AKs. Get an AK. Nothing wrong with liking AKs. Nothing against AKs. I just particularly prefer AR. That's just my preference. But if you're an AK guy, sweet, awesome. Get you an AK. If you're a pistol caliber carbine, again, awesome. Those have a slight advantage to the other two because a lot of them take like a Glock mag, and a lot of you which like pistols, which is another one. Pistols, get to that one here in a second too, but they interchange. A lot of them take Glock mags, and a lot of people like Glock handguns. So it's, you can either not have to carry quite so much ammo, or you can carry more ammo. You either don't have to carry as much because you can just pop it in and out of your you can swap them between your carbine. So that's an advantage to those. I'm not a huge fan, but that's my personal. If that's your thing, then heck yeah, do it, because that's a good advantage to it. You can carry more ammo for it, and or you don't have to carry quite so much ammo because you don't have to fill that all up with. You don't have to carry all your handgun mags and your carbine mags. You can just carry a bunch of the same mags, and so that's an advantage. And I already gave the next one away, was handgun. Handguns, and again, caliber, I don't care. Whatever you prefer, whatever you can shoot with, whatever you've trained with, whatever, because whatever ammo you say is, whatever ammo I say is going to be wrong. Somebody's going to have a better idea, but whatever you prefer, because in my opinion, you can't go wrong with either of them. Even with brand of handgun. Like I said, some people like Glock. Cool, get a Glock. Again, personally not a fan, but nothing against Glock. I'm biased and I don't like Glock, but that doesn't mean they're a bad gun. Just because I don't like them doesn't mean they're bad. Just if you like Glock, get Glock. If you like SIG, get a SIG. Whatever you can train with, whatever you can shoot, whatever will carry, whatever you prefer. My carry gun is Hellcat Pro. That's what I carry. That's what I carry around every day. Hellcat Pro. That's in a appendix carry, but that's what I carry, and I have my reasons. Is it better? Probably not. And again, I'm probably an idiot for carrying it to some of you, which it's fine. You're entitled to your opinion, but whatever you want to carry. And that's my concealed gun. I have another gun, which again is a controversial choice, but I'm not going to get into that. But for my actual open carry or, sidearm, if we're bugging out, I'm not going to carry appendix because that would be so uncomfortable. But I've got another one that I carry, on my hip for when I open carry, when I'm out and about, out in the woods, out hunting or whatever, or camping or whatever. I'll put that one on my side, on my hip, instead of the one in my appendix. Because like I said, if I'm out bugging out or working or what, appendix is kind of awkward. But whatever you choose. And caliber, same thing. 9mm. That's the ammo of choice by most is 9mm. But my sidearm is 40, which again, 40. I'm an idiot for carrying 40, but I carry a 40 on my side. But some of you like 45, some of you like 9mm, some of you like 380. Some of you, it doesn't matter. Whatever you can shoot, whatever floats your boat, whatever you want. But like I said, brand, caliber, a handgun. Get you a handgun and train with it. Know how to use it. If you can't shoot it very good, you might want to try something different. But anyway, there's number 4. And number 5 I mentioned earlier was long gun. Long guns serve a purpose. They're, if you've got a shotgun for big game, you don't really need a long gun for big game. But they're kind of dual purpose. But long gun, if you were talking about like an SHTF situation, and you're at your location, your bug out location, your compound, whatever it is you want to call it, and you need to do some security, and you got several points where you need to see out far and maybe reach out and touch something or someone, a long gun would be very necessary. But really, I mean, the way I see it is SHTF, and even when you're out hunting, how far are you really shooting something that's like, how far away is it that you're actually shooting it? So do you really technically need a long gun? But long gun. Get you a long gun, especially if it's, my preference 308, but there's more choices. There's 30-06. There's so many out there that I can't name them all. But whatever you prefer, longer. Those are the 5 you need for basically for preppers, for prepping. Anything above that is cool, but we're talking minimums here. We're not talking, everything else. If you want to have 500 guns, have 500 guns, but those are at least the top, the 5 that you need. And we all know that. All you preppers, some of you new preppers may not know that, but anyway, that's the top 5 for that. But now if we're talking about bugging out, you only really need 2. your sidearm, your handgun, and your carbine. And that's really all you need. If we're bugging out, which leads me to also you can, says me, have too many guns. You can have too many. Now, hear me out before you call me an idiot. Hear me out. If you have to bug out, if you've got 1,000 guns at your house, cool on you. Good, awesome. You're well stacked. You're well prepared. But if you have to bug out, and it's a long-term permanent deal where you're gone, and there's, and if that's because of a people force comes in and forces you out. Now they have 1,000 guns and you only have what you could carry on your person or in your car or whatever, and they've got 1,000 guns and all your ammo. So if you're forced out, if you think you're at a spot where you're going to have to get ran out of your place, I'd recommend storing those somewhere else. Don't store them at your house. Store a few of them, have whatever you need there, and maybe a couple extras, but don't store them all there. Because if you have 1,000 guns, which is your right, do it. I love guns too. But if you're going to keep them at your house, you better hope you don't have to bug out quickly because of people reasons. Because if you get ran out and they come in, now they have all your guns and you have none. So keep them at your bug out location, keep them at your spider points, your waypoints, your wherever. Keep them there. That's where, But anyway, that's that. And then other weapons, if you legally can't have a gun, have a firearm, whatever's the best thing you can have. Carry it, keep it, have it, whatever. But when we're talking without rule of law, I'm not going to tell you to break any laws, but without rule of law, firearm. I mean, again, I'm not trying to tell you to break laws, if you're, because that's on you. If you're going to choose to carry around a gun and you're not legal to carry one. But without rule of law, if it's like legit SHTF and, there's no police force, there's no, have something, get you something, make sure your neighbor knows that, hey, I'm not allowed to have one of these, but if it goes south, have one for me. Just make sure that, again, not telling you to break any laws, but do what you got to do. Stay prepared, stay vigilant, stay, all that, world's getting crazy. So keep yourself protected, have situational awareness, stay, keep your know what's around you. Like I said, the world's getting crazy and it's not going to get any better. If it does, it's going to get worse before it gets better. And we all know that. We've been watching it just go down, even with Trump in office, it's still not getting a whole lot better. I mean, some things are getting better, but as far as like the craziness and just stay prepared, be prepared, be aware of your surroundings, carry a gun, carry a firearm, carry whatever the most legal thing you can carry it. Again, not telling you to break any laws, you do you, but carry the most legal thing that you can carry that can help you out of whatever situation. And, if do what you can. But anyway, stay protected, stay vigilant, and do the YouTube stuff, like, subscribe, comment. You know the YouTube stuff. I don't have to remind you. Just help me out and help us all out. We're a family. We're not, you're not my subscribers or followers, or we're all a family. We're all here to help each other out. So help us out, help each other, and we'll see you in the next one.